Alrighty, so today we're going to take a look at a problem where we're actually asked to solve and graph an absolute value inequality. So we have our absolute value, we have the inequality. First thing that we're going to do is we're going to try to isolate our absolute value. So to do that, I'm going to add 15 to both sides. And I should be left with the absolute value of x plus 7 is now going to be less than 6 plus 15, which is going to be 21. When I'm going to solve this, I'm going to end up writing two separate inequalities. But to write those two separate inequalities, I'm actually first going to draw this inequality, and this is going to help me out kind of understand what's actually going on right here. It says that this absolute value has to be less than 21. So I know that I'm going to be taking a look at values that are going to be smaller than 21. But we also know that absolute value is the distance away from 0 on the number line, meaning I also need to account for some negative numbers as well. When I take the absolute value of negative 21, that actually turns into a positive 21. So that number is less. So what I'm actually looking at is I'm actually looking at all of the values that are in between 21 and negative 21. Now the reason why I'm drawing this is going to help me write my two separate inequalities. Because I know that x plus 7, the quantity right here, has got to be less than a 21. What we also know is that it also has to be greater than this negative 21. So this x plus 7 also has to be greater than a negative 21. Okay, so I drew this initial graph here to help us out to get these two problems. Now what we can do from here is just solve. Subtract the 7 from both sides. And what I'll have left here is I'll have x is going to be less than 21 minus 7, or 14. And then I get x has got to be greater than negative 21 minus 7, which is a negative 28. Now you can choose to write this in two separate ways. Because I have the graph going to each other, this is going to be an AND statement. Or I also have the ability to write this as x has got to be less than a 14, but it's also going to be greater than a negative 28. Either one of these is sufficient. The last thing that we actually have to do here is we have to graph our final solution, which is these two inequalities or this compound put together. So we'll say roughly there is 0, there is 14, and here is negative 28. I know that because we have a less than symbol, this is going to refer to an open circle. We have another greater than symbol, which is going to refer to an open circle. And these two are going to connect with one another. So here's my solution and graph to the problem.